What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video. I do apologize that I'm not showing my face in this video. I just didn't plan this accordingly. So here we go, right? But the news still needs to get through to you guys, and we're going to go ahead and rock this out. We're going to go ahead and talk about the final cuts here for the Arizona Cardinals, as well as the 53-man roster, right? And how you guys are feeling about the 2023 season. Let's dive right into it. Alright, everybody, welcome back in. Now, before we get started, definitely do me a huge favor, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. Definitely don't be one of these guys that love to hover around the channel. Subscribe it up. It's absolutely for free. Make sure you put your post notification bell on as well, just so you're aware when we drop the next video or when we go live. Alright, everybody, let's dive right into it. Let's talk about what everybody is here to talk about, and that is the 53-man roster for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the way that the Arizona Cardinals did it this year is a little confusing. They first went ahead and dropped us with people that were cut, and we kind of had to, put two and two together. They didn't give us a nice little perfect thing to kind of read off of, but they did give us some notable people that were cut. Now, obviously, the Arizona Cardinals have been cutting people since yesterday, right? The big bombshell news that came out was that Colt McCoy ended up getting cut by the Arizona Cardinals, and that kind of led to a lot of national people asking, as well as a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans scratching their head and saying, are the Cardinals tanking? And we all know the history, right? So let's talk about some notable people that were cut here for the Arizona Cardinals. We got wide receiver Andre Bocelli, no longer on the Arizona Cardinals roster. Now, please keep in mind that they might make it into the practice squad. As of right now, we don't have that information, but Andre Bocelli is a guy that we've seen before trying to make it on this roster and doesn't really ever seem to get by, right? Also, defensive lineman Eric Banks, quarterback David Blau, ladies and gentlemen, the guy that some people actually wanted to make this roster. He doesn't seem like he's on. It doesn't seem like he made the 53, which is definitely unfortunate. The Arizona Cardinals also cut long snapper Aaron Brewer. What the heck is going on? Are we really just doing away with our long snapper? Super crazy, right? Let's continue to keep talking about some other notable people. We got Corey Clement, running back, which I actually feel like he did a very good job here in training camp as well as preseason, so I'm very surprised that he ended up getting cut. Davion Davis, a wide receiver. Man, this guy was making plays in that last game, and I'm very surprised that he at least wasn't in special teams. But he ended up getting cut. We also cut Caden Davis. Jeff Driscoll, the other quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, also cut. Let's take a look to see who else was cut. Rashad Lawrence, defensive lineman. Yeah, the guy we just drafted not too long ago, also cut, ladies and gentlemen. He's no longer a member of the Arizona Cardinals. Linebacker Zach McLeod. That one hurts because he went ahead and put 3 sacks on this last game, the last preseason game for the Arizona Cardinals, and he was not he's not making the 53, which definitely sucks. We ended up getting that Australian tight end getting cut as well, Bernhard Sikovic. I definitely butchered his name, but he's no longer on the roster. Offensive lineman Leslie Smith, no longer on the roster. Noah Tugai, no longer on the roster. Tyson Williams, the running back, no longer on the roster, ladies and gentlemen. So the Arizona Cardinals made a lot of cuts today. Some of them a little questionable, right? But we are going to try to follow through what JG and Monty Ossenfort's vision at this very moment, and we're going to have to see what week 1 holds. But those are the notable cuts here for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, let's go ahead and dive right into the final 53-man roster. Now, I feel like for the most part, most of the guys that we thought were going to get in, got in, right? Like your Marquise Hollywood Brown, your Zach Pascal, Rondell Moore, Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch. For our wide receivers, our tight end Zach Ertz, Trey McBride, Jeff Swime, as well as Blake Whiteheart. And our offensive line looks to be DJ Humphries, Elijah Wilkinson, for Holt being our center, Will Hernandez, and then Paris Johnson Jr. Running backs, James Conner, Keontae Ingram, and then Amari DeMarcado seemed like he won the 3rd spot. So definitely kudos to him. Now, our quarterbacks, it seems like we're rolling with 2 quarterbacks as of right now because Kyler Murray is on the PUP list or the I'm not exactly sure where they're putting him, but Clayton Tune as well as Joshua Dobbs is going to be fighting for that number 1 spot to see who's going to be our quarterback, number 1, heading into the to the regular season, right? So let's look at our defensive side of the ball. We got LJ Collier, our nose tackler being Licky Fotu. Defensive end, Jonathan Ledbetter. We got some outside linebackers. Dennis Gardick made the cut, as well as Zaven Collins. They seem to be the number 1 and number 2 there. And then we got the other outside linebackers, your Victor Demikichis, your Majay Sanders, your Cameron Thomas, BJ Ojolari, Jesse Luketa. Now let's look at our cornerbacks, Antonio Hamilton, Marco Wilson, Keetrell Clark, Christian Matthew, and then Garrett Williams. I believe he is starting on a list as well. I'm not sure we're going to be seeing him for quite some time. He is still recovering from his injury he got in college. So safeties, obviously Buda Baker and then Jalen Thompson. No surprise there. Our inside linebackers, Kaiser White as well as Kryz Barnes. And then Ezekiel Turner, Owen Papu, and then Josh Woods. Those seem to be our defensive side of the ball. Now, let's take a look at our special teams. Matt Prater, Nolan Cooney. It seems like Nolan Cooney is going to be our punter / holder as well. It doesn't seem like we have a long snapper, so I'm curious to figure out how the Cardinals are going to be able to, I guess, make that happen or make that work, because Aaron Brewer was cut, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll see how that works out. But Greg George seems to be the punt returner and kick returner here for the Arizona Cardinals. So a lot to dive right into, right? I think for the most part, we already knew who was going to kind of be there, but there was a kind of few positions here and there. Now, please also keep in mind that just because they have made it on the 53-man roster doesn't mean that they're going to be on there tomorrow or Thursday or Friday or next week. I heard that the Arizona Cardinals are going to be very, very heavily favored in playing the waiver wire game, and that is going to be looking at other players that were cut, because the Arizona Cardinals feel like there's still a lot of holes on this roster. They cut the people that they don't feel like is going to make them an immediate impact, but there's still going to be, I don't want to say buyers, but guys, they're going to be looking after those people that were cut, right? They're going to be putting in a lot of claims, I heard. So maybe offensive lineman, maybe cornerback, maybe some other positions that they feel like it wasn't quite met. They're definitely going to be looking at the NFL and everybody else that was cut to see if they can fill up their roster here. So please keep in mind that just because we read some people off this list today doesn't mean they are on there on the start of week 1 for Arizona Cardinals versus the Commanders. But ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? What is your thoughts on everything, right? The notable cuts, the 53-man roster. What are your thoughts on how this 2023 Arizona Cardinals are shaking out so far? Please let me know here in the comments below. As always, have a great rest of your day and go Cards.